Professor Humphreys was his name. He was a child psychologist. He diagnosed me with suffering from autism. I was at his place one day and I was looking at these numbers with letters on the screen. I just had to say G, F, H, all this stuff. Well, that ran out. I went downstairs and he was hanging downstairs, hanging himself. So I went outside and knocked on the car window, hopped in the back of the car and said, "The session's over, Mum."
Hello and welcome back to Surrey Internet.
We just took a little bit of time before the show to select some words. I asked Matt here to give me some words for this Mad Lib, and here he gave me some words. You gave me, I asked for a farm animal, and you said sheep.
Sheep, yes.
I asked for the name of a hand tool, and you said
hacksaw.
I asked for a possessive noun, and you said
dogs.
Correct. I asked for a body part, and you said
eyeball.
And I asked for a pasta noodle, and you said
angel hair.
Correct.
Capellini angel hair.
So here's the Mad Lib. Once upon a f***ing time, this sheep I asked Mark Chopper Reed for a couple of f***ing words for his f***ing Mad Libs. So he took a hacksaw and went to work on this dog's eyeball until it looked like a f***ing plate of angel hair with blood and f***ing feces all scrambled together. So we're going to be talking about Mark Chopper Reed today.
Mark Chopper Reed.
Mark Chopper Reed.
Boomerang Liquors, the Australian guys.
Correct. In honor of all the Australian.
There's a lot of fun Australian havoc going on. A lot of people aren't knowing about. Haven't seen these movies, I'm sure. But we needed Mark Chopper Reed first because he's kind of a special guy.
He is very special, and it's very interesting because I looked online to try to find out more information about him beyond the Eric Bana movie, Chopper, which was that 2000, 2001, something like that?
It's fairly old. I don't remember exactly what the date is.
I think it was like right around that time. So I looked try to find more information beyond just the typical, here's the video of where he does the Russian roulette thing with the reporter and laughs maniacally.
Well, I want one shot to my head. Are you ready, Renee?
I don't think I want to play.
Bad luck.
Beyond the 60 minutes interview before he dies.
There's no violence. There's no blood spurting out all over the kitchen. And,
I was looking for more information, and I was surprised to find out that it seems like there's not a whole wealth of documentaries about this guy, and I just assumed that since he was like the Braveheart of Australia, right? He was like the William Wallace of Australia. I figured it'd be like just millions of documentaries about this guy, but there isn't.
Yeah, but he wrote books and stuff. He was all over the media. He wrote
a Mad Lib. This was an actual Mark Chopper Reed Mad Lib from his book. Mark Chopper Reed's awesome Mad Libs. Right here. This is authentic.
That's sponsored by Mad Magazine?
It might be.
You get sued for that.
Yeah, I just did cut you off, and I apologize. But I was just saying that it didn't seem like there was that much information, and you were saying.
Well, you would think there should be because he wrote books. He wrote a kid's book, a children's book.
Yeah.
A children's book. He's popular. He was all over the news, and 60 Minutes put it on for an hour.
Yes.
And another interview and another secondary documentary. So you would figure that there might be some backstory of his older crimes before he became such an infamous character.
Yes.
But there's not much information there, as you can tell.
No. And it's a lot of it's just you're relying on what he has told for the most part. And not all of it. But there are a lot of the stories, like he himself said that, in regards to the Eric Bana movie, it's 80% truth and 20% bullshit, right? But he also said what about telling the truth and telling story? What did he say?
He embellished the stories.
Yeah.
Yeah, he admitted openly, I got to make it sound good.
Yeah. Never let the what? Never let the truth get in the way
Of a good story, yeah.
Yes.
Never get the truth to get in a good way of a good story. Yeah, right. Yeah,
Right, yeah. So,
know what I mean? Know what I mean?
So I would say that beyond his official prison record, that the only thing we can really say is true about Chopper is that he was born on November 17th, 1954, and then he died of multiple stingray wounds to his chest on October 9th, 2013. Everybody remembers that. He was in the fucking water, in the fucking swamps, and a bunch of fucking stingrays came up and was like, "Oh, are you Chopper Reed?" He's like, "Fuck's sake, you the fuck you think I am, you fucking wanker?" And then all these stingrays like, "Oh, fuck it, let's get this motherfucker." And they all started attacking him and stabbing him to death with it. But he's like, "Fuck you ain't gonna fucking kill me." And he kept taking all the stingray tails and he kept breaking them off. And he's like, "You think that's gonna kill me? That's not gonna do shit, motherfucker." And he took his intestines out and he was strangling the fucking stingrays with his own intestines. Now, that happened October 9th, 2013. Those are the only two events that we know are definitely true. The rest is just all, like, embellished.
That was Steve Irwin, I thought.
No, man, no. Dude.
The crocodile hunter.
No, one. There was, like, one stingray. This was, like, fucking 20 stingrays. And he was fighting, killing them, strangling them, and punching them. And he took the bolt cutters to him and shit.
Sounds like a 50s Tarzan movie.
Tell us what happened to your ears.
You're getting a bit personal there, aren't you? If I shot you in the kneecap, Renee, we're entering Logie territory. Hey, you're the only journalist that's ever had a crack at my ears, you cheeky young bugger.
But yeah, so basically, like, for people who don't know, in Australia, like 60% of the deaths are caused in a variation of that, but it's usually related to a stingray. 60% of the deaths in Australia are stingray related.
That's weird.
That is weird, but it is true too. Or I might be embellishing. I'm not sure. There might be a lot of embellishing going on in this episode in honor of Chopper, because Chopper is freaking awesome, right?
Yeah, he's a guy who you don't want to cross him. You don't really want to meet him.
No,
ever. You want to meet this guy because anything can go wrong at any second with him.
Correct.
And all of a sudden you're outside and you get blasted in the face with a shotgun. You have no idea what happened or why.
Yes.
You said some type of crossword to Mark Chopper Reed, and that boomerang licker just whips out a shotgun and shoots you right in the face.
This is all true. This is all happens, and it can't be verified though. But yeah, we're fairly confident it happened because you just made it up on the spot right here, so it's probably true, right?
Yeah, well, someone died.
Well, probably like 10 people though. Probably like maybe 17 people.
It's so crazy. It's just I'm talking about the Bojangles shooting.
Speak fucking English, it's Australia. Fuck you then, that's English.
In the main part of the movie. That's the one that puts him back into prison, right? Yeah, that's the one puts him
Mr.
back in prison.
Bojangles. Mr. Bojangles, wasn't that Sammy Davis Jr.? Why am I thinking that's Sammy Davis Jr.?
No. Mr. Bojangles is not Sammy Davis Jr. I don't know who the actor is. But it's Shirley Temple.
Yeah.
I was sexually interfered with when I was 5 years old. I pooed my pants. And I walked home with my underpants full of poo. I set fire to some bushland, a massive fire. My dad belted me for setting fire to things and for pooing my pants.
You know about that?
No.
That's
I know there's an arson charge and there's a whole list of other charges with kidnapping.
yes. This is what he said though. He also said that you don't want to stick a broom handle too far. He goes, you don't want to take a broom handle and stick it too far up a actor's ass. You know, kill him. Now, if you got like 10 inches, maybe 12 inches, 15 inches, all right, it's fine, right? Once you get around 22
inches, they stop moving because the broom handle's gone through the upper column, through the lower column, passed through the stomach muscles, and it slides up. When it slides up, it's hit the heart. It hits the bottom of the heart. When you're sticking a broom handle up a ass, don't go up too deep.
So that's another thing that Chopper Reed has said.
That's one of his activities. Hobbies.
Yes. It wasn't in the Eric Bana movie, I don't think.
No, it was not.
Right. If this allegation of his experience when he was 5 years old was true, that would explain why later on in life, especially when he got to prison, he attacked the pedophiles. Remember, he wanted, I think they had a scene in the Eric Bana movie, right, where the one guy's like, oh, that guy right there, he diddles kids.
Yeah.
And then he wanted to go kill him in the movie.
Yeah, yeah.
In real life, he did say that he targeted pedophiles in prison, so this may have had something to do with it.
He's kind of sketchy, though, by itself, too.
Yeah.
Because he he claimed to target drug dealers, and because they were ruining society. This is like a Robin Hood of sorts, I guess, protecting society from the evil drug dealers and the massage parlors. And so he was in there robbing drug dealers.
Before he went to prison, that gang you're talking about, where they're targeting the criminals and stuff, the drug dealers and shit, at the massage parlors. He was in the Surrey Road Gang, right? And I thought it was funny because he said that one of his buddies, what's his name? One of his friends that was in the gang.
The Donahue guy?
Johnny Harris. So Johnny Harris was one of his fellow Surrey Road Gang members, and he's like, oh, that bloke was all right. He saved me life, he did. They used to get in a lot of street fights and shit, right? So Johnny Harris allegedly saved Chopper's life, and then he wound up dying. Like, I think that what happened was he died during a street fight, is the way I'm understanding it, because they said they took his body and put it in the trunk of a stolen car. Then drove the stolen car to some national park or some mountain in Australia. Then they took him out of the trunk, and then they laid him on top of a bed of pine needles, I believe, or twigs, whatever. I think it was pine needles, and they set him on fire. And then they took his ashes back to the neighborhood swimming pool, and then threw the ashes in there. And I'm like, what the f*** is that? What is that about?
Wasn't there another thing where they come up from under the street, like in the basement? Like,
I think you're thinking of the movie Chud, Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers.
Yeah, like he dumped a body, like they went down into this basement. I never saw the guy again. Never saw the guy again.
Oh, yeah, just take it down, you put him in the basement.
Story. He doesn't get any other details. It's the guy who just dumped the body down there.
They're in the basement now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I don't know if anybody's going to find him. Something like that.
I'm not familiar with that one.
I believe there was something like that. But that wasn't in the movie either. That was something else on the interview. One of the interviews.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you watched the Eric Bana movie. Did you rewatch it before we did this show?
Yeah.
And
I watched it last night. I watched it. The confusing part is because it starts very similar to the way it ends. He's watching himself on the TV on the interview.
Yes.
And it's back and forth to the interview, back and forth. So I was watching all of it. I had fallen asleep.
Yeah.
And I went back I was watching the rest of it again this morning. And I kind of like trying to find the spot was a little bit off because the beginning and the end are so similar.
Okay.
But I did watch the whole thing. And Eric Bana was very, very impressive, man. There's a reason why he was propelled to Hollywood to become the Hulk within that horrible Hulk movie. But Eric Bana's pretty good. He's very surprising. He got Chopper down to science. The rhythm of his speech. The slang words.
Yeah.
Bloody well, this. A lot of that all the time. And that's how Chopper talks. So he did a very good job of recreating Chopper, for sure, in the movie.
What I found interesting, first of all, yes, everything you said about Eric Bana in that movie, dead on. But I found interesting is you also recommended a while back was Tom Hardy in Bronson.
Yeah, the Bronson movie.
And when I saw that, and I was like, oh my God, that freaking movie is awesome, right? He was right, dude. And then I stumbled upon the Chopper movie, and I watched that, and at first I didn't even realize, I didn't make the connection that it was a true story until I started, whatever. The point is, the performance. Eric Bana's performance as Chopper Reed was just as good, in my opinion, as Tom Hardy's performance as Bronson in that movie. And then to go one step further, I just watched another Bronson movie that was made for TV in Australia. It's very good. It's called Underbelly. Season 2, I want to say. I could be wrong, but Underbelly is a recurring show. And each season they cover a different facet of like real life crime or crime figures. So they did a season about Mark Chopper Reed and the actor that they got to play it, which I'll have in the video. He was phenomenal, and he was just as good. And he had a different take on how to play him, right? But he did just as well as Eric Bana playing Chopper in his mainly it's like post-prison time period. It's like the 2000s when he's out of prison, and he was on the road touring, and he was trying to like reconcile with Margaret, who is the true love of his life, is what he said. He married the other lady, I think Mary Ann, when he was in prison, and because he was told, he says, because he was told that this would help him get out of prison, because it shows that, hey, you're a family man now.
One was short-lived. One was only the wedding, or the marriage was only like 4 years.
Yeah,
and the other marriage was 10.
Yeah, and that's Margaret.
And that's till the day he died, I believe.
Correct. Yeah.
And Chopper died in 56 or 58.
Chopper died, or Chopper was born. He was born in 54, and he died in 2013.
I just wondered how. I think he was 58.
Oh, how old was he? Yeah, he's probably in his 50s, I'd imagine. Doing it looks like real quick 60, about like 61 years old. From 54 to 2013, I'm going to say I think 61. I think 61 years old at the time of his death. But what's interesting about the time of his death was that he probably could have lived. However, he said he did not want to put his name on a donor list for the kidney that he needed next to the name of a 10-year-old child who also needs a kidney. So that's pretty admirable, you know what I'm saying? Because by this point he was like a minor celebrity, maybe a major celebrity in Australia. And odds are that if they found a kidney, they might have given it to him. But he said, no, ain't no friggin' way.
There's something cool about the movie because it makes it feel like dirt. Like as you're watching the movie, if you feel like dirty, like everything he's doing and where he's set up, like the prison scene is all white walls and it's just everything's seems dirty all the time.
Yeah.
And there's one of the effects is he goes to Neville's house because he catches his girlfriend on the phone and he beats her down in the bathroom. And smacks the mom before, headbutts her.
Yes.
Headbutts the mom before he leaves. Like, oh, now look what you made me do.
Okay.
Look at what you made me do. Look at you now. Then, so he goes off to find Neville because he caught her on the phone. He thinks Neville was on the phone. So he shows up at Neville's house, and they're all getting high, and they're doing cocaine. So they speed up the film, which I thought was a good touch to the movie. They're like, there's just a lot of quick smiles, a lot of talk to each other. Like, that's going on? Yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, did you hear about that? I heard about this. Yeah, all right. Yeah, where's all the money? And then he gets in it with Neville.
Now, was just the Neville scene?
Not like this Neville guy.
No, he did
Neville
not.
Bartos.
Is that the scene where he's like, hey, there's a door right there. You can try to get up and go for the door, but I will shoot you before you get there? Or something like that, right?
Yeah, he starts counting. You got about 20 seconds. And he doesn't start like regular count. He's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not a regular second count. He just whenever I get to 20.
Correct. So he actually he talked about that whole sequence that you just referenced. So he was getting interviewed, and then the reporter said, hey, what do you think about the job they did with telling your story in the movie, right? And he was that's when he said the 80-20 thing, 80% true, 20% bullshit. Mm-hmm. He said that the director of the movie had a heroin habit, is what his allegation is. He's like, the director of the movie, he had a heroin habit, so he assumed that everybody in the world does heroin. So
it seems like in his world, he's always right. Everybody else, everybody else is worse. They're worse criminals than him, and he's fighting for justice. This is part of his perspective. That's how screwy Chopper Reed is. Yeah,
so he's sitting there saying, well, the director had a heroin habit, so he made Eric Bana's portrayal of Chopper also have a drug habit. He said, but I didn't have a drug habit. That's all nonsense that he made up.
They didn't get into it too much, though. They only showed him shoot up with his girlfriend.
He said he never did it.
and the girlfriend kind of grabbed his arm and forced him to do it.
And he said he never did. I'm just saying, the guy's dead, so he can't defend himself, so I'm playing devil's advocate. Chopper said, I never did that shit. The director's the one that had a heroin problem. And so since the director had a heroin problem, he assumed that everybody else had a heroin problem. So he made Eric Bana portray me with doing heroin, which I would never do, and he never did, is what he said. He also said the director beat his wife. And since the director beat his girlfriend or beat woman in general, that he assumed that everybody, including Chopper, probably also smacked their wives and girlfriends around. He said, I never did that. And he said, I never attacked Tanya. I never attacked Tanya's mother like I was portrayed in the movie. Okay. And he also said that he was never a police informant as portrayed in the movie. And he also said that he didn't fight a giant CGI end of the world monster like he did in the Avengers. What was this, Thanos?
Thanos. Yeah.
Was that the giant end? I never seen any of these Marvel movies. I saw Captain America. That was it. It was great, by the way. I loved it. But I didn't see any other ones. So it's like Thanos is like a giant end of the world. He's like the end of the universe monster or some shit, right?
Yeah, he's gonna cut the population of the galaxy.
And the Incredible Hulk had to fight him, I think.
At some point, yeah.
Yeah, well, he said, Iron Man never fought Thanos, right? This Thanos is what he was, Thanos, a piece of shit. He owed me some money, see? And that's why he did what he did. But I never had to fight him. I never had to fight Thanos, because he knew better. He knew, right, Chopper, I wrap a pipe wrench around his head, and that would be it. Snap this, motherfucker.
Well,
that's another inaccuracy.
Because that's the real world. Like, Chopper would just kill you.
He would.
Yeah, he's just a general. Yeah, that's what he does.
Now, he claims that he did that, but what did he say in his final interview? How many people did he originally you said he killed like 17 to like 20 people. Then by the final interview, he said what?
He apologized for something. He apologized for something that was like really, that he really felt bad about. They do play him up in the movie as having this after emotions, like that he really feels bad about what he just did to people. Like, he stabbed the one guy in the face about 12 times.
Now, who hasn't?
And then he was trying to get him to smoke a cigarette. He's like, I have a cigarette. Yeah, come on. I don't feel so bad about it, you know. You're going to be all right. You're going to be okay. He has bleeding to death on the floor. His carotid arteries cut. Chop's trying to give him cigarettes. He's like, yeah, smoke. You can have some cigarettes. It's good for you.
I don't like fighting with knives. It's a bloody terrible things to fight with because you get cut. And he's going, and I'm going, And he said, what are you doing? What are you doing? I said, well, you're stabbing someone because they've got a knife and you've got a knife. You know, it's, I shot him the first time with his gun. I shot him the second time with his gun. How stupid is this person? He is an idiot, complete idiot.
Okay, see, he was never remorseful. He never verbalized remorse. He never verbalized regret. However, I think that later in life, he did his best to demonstrate without saying it that he felt sorry for what he did. And the reason I'm saying that is because his son, for example, like he was asked, like, hey, what do you think about if one of your sons like followed in your footsteps?
I don't wish immortality on them. I don't want them to become famous. But my sons they're already paying a price. So they'll pay a price for having a well-known father.
I think that he is saying in so many words that, yeah, what I did was shit, and I don't want my kids doing the shit that I did. And he actually was talking about, what did he say? He's trying to remember how he phrased it. He's talking about, like, you know, how he could have went out and tried to like get a normal job and been a normal person, but he fell into like petty crime at a very young age, and by the time he fell into it, it kind of absorbed him, or he got so absorbed into that lifestyle that he just kind of found it too hard to like to say, all right, well, I'm just going to give this up and go study to be a doctor now. He's just like, he's already entrenched in it. He was in the gang. They were already shaking people down. And then, it was, by that point, it was too late is what he was saying.
Yeah, so, maybe he just once he gets arrested and starts serving time. Yeah. So it's only people he knows now. They're all criminals who get out of prison together. They all live locally together.
So he claimed that there was a Greek gang that threatened to kill his mother. And he's like, oi, you want to kill me mom, do you? Here's her freaking address. Why don't you go down there? I'll help you kill her too. I hate that fucking bitch. Right? So then they were like, he says that they were like kind of confused by this tactic. So then he started going down to their mother's houses and started like firing shots, I guess, at their house to scare the mothers. And then the word got back to the Greek gang, and then the Greek gang like backed off. And then he explains to the person interviewing him, he's like, like these Greek gang members, they value their parents. They value their mother. Is what I meant to say. However, he claims that Australians don't, and I'm like, I don't know if that's true. I think that maybe that's just something he said, like one of those things that he embellishes, because I can't imagine if you just talk to a random Australian guy or girl and say,
across the board, it's probably not like that.
Yeah, like, hey, generally, like, hey, what do you think about your mom? Yeah,
everybody hates their mom in Australia. Not true.
It doesn't sound right, but that's what he claimed, right? The prison in Tasmania. In the movie, what happened? You were telling me that he got sent to the Tasmanian prison. Why? Why not an Australian prison? You said he got sent to this one prison.
Well, they're the worst of the worst. That's what the strange thing is, that Australia was a penal colony. So they took all the worst English, shoved them all there. And then the worst of them, they take them and then they shove them to Tasmania. So they're the worst criminals of the worst criminals of the worst criminals. Like 3 times concentrated.
Yes.
You have to add a lot of water to water that down, water down those criminals.
So that prison was nicknamed the Pink Palace.
I don't know.
And this is what he said. This is what he said about the Pink Palace and why he hated it. He said, oh, I hate the Pink Palace because the prisoners are off with 2-headed fucking country boys and bloody hillbillies and people who've stolen bales of wool and people who sheep. So that's why he didn't like his stay in the Pink Palace. He said it wasn't because of the violence. He said the inmates actually weren't violent. It was just they were such disgusting Neanderthals. He's like, the way that they ate their food and stuff like that, like, he said he just couldn't take it. He'd just rather be in a regular general population with regular violent criminals. At least that he could wrap his mind around and understand. Like, okay, that guy got shivved because he had a carton of cigarettes. I get that. But I don't get these hillbillies who sheep. He doesn't get that shit.
I don't get it either.
That wasn't in the Eric Bana movie.
No. No, it was not. He's going for wide release.
You saw his drunk driving PSAs that he did?
No.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
So the government was like, oh, we need some public service announcements.
Yes.
And to save lives.
Correct.
So we figured, who's the best guy to save lives that we know? Mark Chopper Reed. That guy's all about safety. He doesn't point loaded guns at people or anything. Figure the Australians. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, put him on TV there, right? Yeah, right.
So he did some drunk driving PSAs, and he also did some PSAs for domestic abuse, because he hates wife beaters with a passion, right? He hates pedophiles and he hates wife beaters, like 2 of his pet peeves, right? So he's more than happy to do these public service announcements. And like when he did the domestic violence one, he's like,
if you bashed a woman, well, you're a weak, gutless individual. If you come to fucking jail for bashing a woman or raping a woman, you will get fucking dealt with. You will fucking suffer. We will break your fucking neck, you low, gutless, weak fucking mice.
So anyway, so he did that, and he did the drunk driving PSAs and stuff like that.
I've shot people. I've baseball batted them to death. I've iron barred them to death. I've stabbed them to death. If you get into a car, you've been drinking too much, you kill somebody, And you're no different than me.
And he did the rap video.
Mark Brandon Reed in the dark demand to get on your knees and breathe into the gun, expanding the back of your brain, skull shatter. This ain't a movie, it's a real chopper, not Eric Bana.
Put a bullet in his head and then you're done and over, and then roll the body in the grave or some nonsense. It was real shitty. And then there's the other
He just rambles
one.
on. He rambles on, and then they try to fit music around it, which doesn't really work.
Trying to remember what the hell's the other one that we listened to? It was
Okay, get in and get out.
Fat lady, get in, do it and get out blood free. Walk up, bang, bang, step back quick. When the blood hits the floor, I'm 6 feet away. Hit 'em hard, hit 'em fast, and get out quick.
Yeah, it's just violent rambling.
And of course, for those who are
like
tuning in late, we're talking about Mark
Chopper Reed.
Dwayne, the dog, Chapman, the bounty hunter, Reed, Chopper, the Rock Johnson.
Dwayne.
Right? And the thing about that is that Dwayne, the dog, Chapman,
Yes, Dwayne.
The bounty hunter?
His dog, the bounty hunter.
right?
Yeah.
Is kind of, unfortunately, like, is America's answer, and it's so sad. It is, because if I had to pick, I'd take Chopper Reed every time.
Oh, for all
But-
your PSAs? For
No,
your
no,
public service
no.
announcements?
Well, I'm saying, so Australia has Mark Chopper Reed.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, America, we have Dwayne, the dog Chapman, as far as like a celebrity criminal, right? Both of them started off as criminals.
Mm-hmm.
Dog the bounty hunter was in prison, I think, because he was like a dirty meth head, right? He was a
Yeah,
disgusting
yeah.
meth head.
Yeah, drugs.
He's like, hey, brah, you want to smoke this crystal rock, brah? Right?
Stop smoking ice, bro.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
Stop smoking the meth. Yeah, the ice.
Smoking ice, bro.
Shoving cigarettes in their mouths as he takes them down to the jail for processing. But I
Dog
want
the bounty hunter, every time he has to read his like religious type thing,
Yeah.
that, like, this is the way it was for me, brah.
God, fine guy, bro.
Yeah, something like that.
And where Chopper was like,
Every
oh,
time.
fuck off. Don't tell me about finding God, you fucking wanker. You know, shit like that. I would just wish that we had Chopper instead of fucking Dog the Bounty Hunter. Right? That's what I'm trying to say. That's my point. Is I wish we had Chopper, but we don't. We got Dog. He did say that you should only kill for legitimate reasons. All right? He's like, you don't want to kill just to kill. He said you only want to kill when you have a reason. So he was talking about like modern day gangsters. He's like, oh, they're running around. They're just killing people for stupid shit, for like PlayStations and such things. It's garbage, mate. You know? He's like, if you want to kill, yeah, you kill for a good reason. So, what do you think about that?
I think you invested a lot of time with the Mark Chopper Reed. You really like his points of view. You think you're
I
like,
could be
"Ah,
making all this up.
You put the mouth on the side of the gutter there, and you get them to open their mouth along the edge of the gutter. And you stand back and you go, smash the back of the head, right on the edge of the gutter. Bang, that's violent.
It is in honor of Chopper. He's been known to exaggerate. So maybe he didn't say that.
Well, there was a scene in the movie where he pulled out his exaggeration in the bar, so a lady could see it across the bar. The guy got all mad and shoved his girlfriend out the door. Chopper whipped out his willy, trying to impress a lady across the bar, while being interviewed by 2 police officers.
So what do you think about that crocodile? The one that he fought, that eventually fucking attacked him and bit off 2 of his legs, and then he got one of the legs out of the crocodile's mouth and then bashed the crocodile's head in with his own leg that got chewed off, and then he's like, give me my other fucking leg back, you stupid fucking wanker. And he kept smashing the crocodile over his head until the crocodile went bleh, and spit up his other leg. And then he went and found Neville. He's like, Neville, you little fucking prick. I'll need you to sew my fucking legs back on me body. You piece of shit, Neville. And Neville's like, I'm not going to do it, Chopper. And he's like, you're going to fucking do it, Neville. All right, and he started beating Neville with his fucking severed legs.
He'd definitely be going after Neville.
Oh, my God.
He did not like Neville.
No.
Neville Bartos, he did not like that guy.
Why didn't he like Neville?
I don't know what it was.
Now, Neville was the guy that shivved him in prison 30 times and cut his intestines out?
That was the Donahue guy or whatever.
Oh, okay.
That was his internal little gang prisoners.
Yes, the trench coat, the Overcoat Gang. The Overcoat Gang.
Yeah. Yeah, they were involved with like some type of dispute with another gang. And Chopper was going to kill everyone. Chopper had a whole idea.
50%.
He was like, we just go in and I'll take out a whole bunch of them one at a time, and we'll end the whole thing.
He want to kill every other gang member. So 50% of them just want to bang. Half your gang's dead in one night.
Yeah, he was gonna ice pick them off. That's what he said. Right in the back of the neck. I'll ice pick them all right in the back of the neck. No one will even know. They'll be paralyzed in their sleep. They'll die.
And they thought that was too extreme. His partner in crime thought it was too extreme, and
so he attacked Chopper.
But there's a theory that he was actually trying to get the bounty that was put on his head, which could be true.
Yeah,
because they're in prison. What kind of money are you making? Nothing. So it's quite possible. But then again, did this really even happen?
Well, he got stabbed a bunch of times.
Oh, yeah, he got stabbed a bunch of times. But I'm saying the reasons leading up. So in other words, did he really plan to murder half the other gang? And then as a result, the guy's like, you're too extreme. I'm attacking you. Shiv, shiv, shiv. Or was it more along the lines of like, you're just in prison. There's a bounty on the head. He gets attacked. And yeah, he got stabbed a whole bunch of times and lost a couple feet of intestine. And then later on, he makes up the story. Well, the reason why he attacked me is because I had this awesome, crazy, great plan to kill half of the other gang all in one fell swoop. That's the reason he attacked me, because I was so fucking dangerous. He had to do it.
Chopper is
because he didn't have the balls like I had. You know what I mean?
Always over the top like that.
But that's why Chopper's great, because we don't know what's real. We don't know what's fake. You know what I'm saying? Was that crocodile story true?
No.
Probably not. I mean, I don't think it was, but it could be, right? The only difference is that I'm not fucking Chopper, right? But if Chopper would have said that same stupid shit that I said about fighting a pack of stingrays and then breaking their little fucking stingray tails and then stabbing them with their own fucking stingers, if he would have said the shit about the crocodile biting his own fucking legs off and he had to get fucking stupid Neville to fucking sew his legs back on, like if he would have told that story, we'd been like, that sounds like a bunch of shit, but it could be true. It is Australia. Weird things happen down there all the time, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, people go missing all the time. Happens all over the place. People go in the outback, 100 people go missing a year, something like that. 60, 50, 60, just all gone.
Next episode, we're going to talk about why Australia is such a scary place. In reality, Australia is a death trap for backpackers.
There's a lot of dangerous stuff going on.
And we're going to talk about that in the next episode, because there's a lot of crazy shit. But do you got anything more you want to talk about with Eric Bana or with Mark Chopper Reed or Neville? That little fucking prick Neville? Son of a bitch.
He's still crying, is he? He's still crying out there, Neville?
Do you think that Mark Chopper Reed, the information that we have on him, how reliable do you think that information is? You got to wrap it up like 30 seconds.
I'd say it's 70-30.
Okay.
I think, he definitely killed some people.
All right.
Some of the stuff he embellished and how crazy some of the stuff is, maybe not true. But
I'm going to say that Mark Chopper Reed, the story, the information that we have on him is probably 50-50. I'm going to say the only thing we can definitely trust is the police record and maybe some of the accounts of like friends and family, like his wife Marianne, his wife Margaret, his kids, and then maybe some of the other criminals surrounding him. But we got to wrap it up. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time, and we'll talk about all the crazy Australian backpacker murders and movies that go along with it.
Much more.